suitable for general family viewing.
Hi and welcome to another episode of KILIMO Diaries. Today I'm in the suburbs of Karen. I bet you didn't know that Karen can give you some very good produce. Well, today I'm going to learn about a different kind of farming, aquaponics. I also didn't know that aquaponics is a thing, but my guest of today, he's going to tell us all about it. He makes some amazing, actually he grows some amazing different kind of lettuce. Najua ile moja. Hata mimi najua ile moja till today. So let's start. I'm going to let him introduce himself so that we can continue from there. Karibu sana.
Hi, thank you.
Please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
My name is Francis. I'm the head of the farm. It's called Motero Farms.
Yes.
And we've been here since 2017.
2017?
Yes.
Ah, okay. You umechukua muda.
Nimechukua muda.
So Motero Farm, what do you deal with basically?
Motero Farms, we do aquaponics, hydroponics, and a bit of basil, microgreens, yeah, and rocket.
You've gone to a side that not a lot of farmers have gone to. Aquaponics, what is aquaponics? A lot of people don't know what that is.
Aquaponics, it's a technology it's a farming technology where we use fish as a source of nutrients.
Yes.
Because they produce nitrogen, nitrates and nitrites. So that's what we use for farming into the greenhouse. Like the water, since it has the nutrients,
yes,
we use those nutrients to grow in the greenhouses. Yeah.
I bet you didn't know that fish can actually help your plants to grow. So the lettuce with the aquaponics, did you just decide with what technology I'm going with, let me just panda the lettuce? Did you just decide that this is the best option to go with?
It's the best because when you look at our greenhouse, we're not planting in the soil.
Yes.
You're doing it on boards and very small. What are they called?
You see, like it's nakaka to net to learn.
Oh, the nets, the net pots.
Yeah.
So I can't do maize in here. I can't do beans.
Yes.
Because of how it looks. Yes. I can only do something that does not have a lot of biomass or does not grow too long. You see, or too wide.
Yeah.
So we opted for the lettuce because it's easier to grow in a greenhouse using aquaponics.
So let's start with the basics of farming in aquaponics. How do you start? Like, do you take a seed and put them in those, like that canet that you just lifted up, or what is the process?
Yeah, so with aquaponics, the first thing you need is fish, and you have to have fish that are well fed.
Well-fed fish.
Well-fed fish. And then it depends also on the amount of nitrogen you want. If you have catfish, they produce a lot of nitrogen. But now with them, you find they don't survive very well in the conditions of a fish tank.
Okay.
You see, they need a place where probably you have mud.
Yeah, catfish like mud, yes.
They like mud. And then you have the tilapia. The tilapia, they have less nitrogen, but they do very well in a system where you just have water, you don't have mud.
Yes.
So you prefer the tilapia because they'll survive better.
Yes.
So now, once you have the fish, then now you're ready. Once you have the fish and you have a system that has running water, the water has to run.
Yes.
You can't have stagnant water in aquaponics.
Yes.
You see, the water has to run into the system, back into the fish tanks where the nutrients are, and then back into the system again.
It's like rotation.
It has to rotate.
Yeah.
Because if you have stagnant water, yes, the nutrients will get depleted because the biomass, obviously, there's uptake of the nutrients by the plants. So once the nutrients are they're depleted, you take the water back into the fish tanks, and then the water comes back with nutrients. So once you have fish, and then you have a system that is circulating, then now you'll basically have to do your seedlings. You can buy seedlings if you don't have a very big system, if you're not doing for the purpose of commercial.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
If you're just doing for home use or something, you can just buy seedlings elsewhere for the lettuce, and then you just put them in your system. Once they're depleted, once you harvest, you just buy more, and then you continue the cycle. But for us, we're doing it for a commercial purpose.
Yes.
So we have our own seeds.
Okay.
So we do our own seedlings, and then the seedlings we transfer them into the system.
Okay. So the seeds, when you take them, you see the ball that the net pot that you had lifted, you just put your seed in there and then you put it on the water, or because I can see some kind of sponge here that is lifting them up. Yeah. Or after you transfer the seeds and the seedlings, you just put it here and now let it grow.
So what we do, so the first thing we do, you have to fill the net pot with something to hold the plant or something. You have to have a medium for where the plant is going to grow. So the first thing we do is we fill our net pot with the medium. Is you can do cocoa peat, you can do soil mixed with manure, you can do peat moss. You see, so we usually prefer cocoa peat because cocoa peat you don't have what can I call? You don't have weeds.
Okay.
You don't have like the small seeds that are in the soil.
Yes. Okay. That made the weeds to grow. Yes.
Yeah. So we prefer the cocoa peat. But once we don't have cocoa peat, or when we run out of cocoa peat, we can use soil. But weeding has to be done. You see. So now once you place your seed in the medium that you have to do the watering. Once you do the watering, you'll obviously see the seedling grow.
Yes.
Once it grows and it attains 2 weeks in the seedling area, then you bring it into the system. And the system will continue.
Okay.
So the purpose of using the net pot,
net pot.
Because as you can see from our system, it's a floating board.
Yes.
So if I put something that does not have holes, as you can see it, if I put something that does not have hole in this in the system, obviously the water will not seep through.
Oh yeah, true.
Into the medium.
Yes.
Also the roots, once the water is introduced, obviously the plant is going to sense the nutrients in the roots, and then they're going to start growing downwards. That's why you can see the roots they're coming out of.
Oh, of those spaces in the net pot, yes.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, that is quite an interesting way to. So with that, meaning after you put it here, stories of irrigation you're done with.
No, yeah.
It has water all through.
It has water all through.
Oh, okay. So it's 2 weeks after you've put your seedlings, you've already seen your seedlings sprouting, and then you've put it here. How long does it take to like mature so that you can know now this is a full-grown lettuce?
So we have our system the way it's designed. Once the seedlings stay in the seedling area for 2 weeks, they're brought into the system, and then we have a high density area where we have a lot of the seeds, the seedlings coming from the seedling area into, and then from there it attains 2 weeks, and then now we have to, because if you find the amount of nutrients, they are going to reduce.
Yes.
Because if you have more biomass or plants in a small area, they're going to use a lot of nutrients. So now we bring them here where we have a medium density.
Yes.
So you find there one trough or one tray there has around 32 plants.
32. Wow. Okay.
So when it comes here, it moves from 32 to 28.
You go reducing.
You go reducing because now they're going to grow bigger. They need more nutrients and more space. So we reduce.
Okay.
Yeah. So from here, they know they come here.
Oh, so from here now that is when they become full blown, ready to go out. So for when it gets to full blown, at what point will you know now this is a mature lettuce? Like, because I can see you have different kind of varieties. At what point will you know like this kind that you have here now it's mature, it's ready for sale?
So we monitor. The first thing we do, we have labels. So we have a label that shows the date and the variety.
So you keep checking.
We keep checking. So once it's from the seedling area, you know this one is 2 weeks. It has been transferred into the high density.
Yes.
The high density, you wait for 2 weeks. It's transferred in the medium density. Then the medium density, it stays for around 2 to 3 weeks. The size also increases, as you can see. It goes increasing, and then from there. There are ones that you have some lettuce that we don't let them attain. We don't let them stay in the greenhouse for too long.
Yes.
For 1 month, they're good.
Yes.
But the ones that have to form the heads, we add another 2 weeks. Now these other 2 weeks, we move them from the medium density to a low density area.
Okay.
Low density meaning if the board was taking around 28, now there is going to take around 16. So it gives it more nutrients and more space for it to bulge and form the head.
Okay.
Yeah. So what tells us it's time to harvest? It's the number of weeks the plant has stayed in the system.
Okay.
Because you can't have a plant in the system that has more than 6 to 8 weeks.
Yes.
You see. So once you see it's past the 5th week, you know it's time to harvest.
Oh.
Also the demand.
Yeah, true. And a mature lettuce that will be like 5 weeks, 5 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a mature lettuce. But I can see that in your greenhouse you have different kind of varieties. What are the varieties that you're growing here at Motero Farm?
Yeah, so we have, this is called the All-Star.
These are with the red leaves.
Red, and then they come like that. Like we don't like put one seed that is this and then this color.
Yes.
The seeds just come like that. Once you put them, they grow with all those colors. So this is the All-Star, and then now you have the red seal, and then you have the Rololosa, the red salad, and the last one there, the green one, is called Christine.
Christine. Okay, my current person is called Christine. Hi, Christine. Wow. So there's no harm in growing them together.
No.
It won't, for some plants you like unaziweka pamoja unaambiwa itakula ile.
There's no competition for nutrients on the color of the salad. We do different colors because we have when you're packing, we package 3 different sorts of varieties. You have the premium, which comes from the all-star, and then you have the special where you have to do the red and the rolos and stuff, and then you have red, and then the garden you mix all the ones that you have to the customers. So you find that there's a customer who likes probably the premium, the special, the garden mix.
Yes.
So that's why we're growing the different varieties.
So when it comes to our greenhouse today, I've been to a couple of greenhouses, but this looks a bit different. Why is it that this has to be different from the other kawaida greenhouses?
So for us, you don't grow lettuce in an area where it's too hot. When it becomes very hot, as you can see, some of them will die because of the heat.
Yes.
You see? So we have to put a shade net on top. Whenever it's hot, you have to do a shade net on top. That is going to reduce the amount of heat inside the greenhouse. Thus, you don't have a lot of plant loss. You can also do a shade house, yes, but the problem with the shade house, whenever it rains, the water is going to get into the greenhouse. It's going to contaminate the water you have. So, like you have what? You have juice, and then your juice, obviously, when you mix with water, if more water gets the juice,
it becomes more diluted. Yes, true.
So we don't want more water in the greenhouse. So we prefer the greenhouse the way it looks. So we can do a shade house when you're doing this with aquaponics. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So when it comes to the greenhouse, do you have like a standard size that you're supposed to work with, or even if you get like a small greenhouse, it can still work with that?
No, it doesn't matter the size of the greenhouse. What matters is the amount of or the number of lettuce that you're going to have in your greenhouse. If you don't have a big market, obviously you're going to have a small greenhouse.
Yeah, true.
So yeah.
And the kawaida lettuce that we are used to, and the one that you've mentioned, how different is it? Can you also grow that kawaida lettuce with this method?
Yeah, you can. You can grow the normal one. The reason you're growing what we see is our market demands this type of lettuce. You see, you can grow a lot of things in here, but maize, no, you can grow maize or beans. Well,
I've learned a lot about aquaponics, which is a different kind of farming that is actually popping up sana right now. So I'm going to take a short break, but we'll be right back to understand, even with this method that we're using right now, what are the challenges that you face with it, and is the market for this kind of lettuce there? You're going to be right back.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Yajayo katika upeo wa TV47. Naibu Rais William Ruto asema kuwa ataheshimu uamuzi wa mahakama ya upeo kuhusu ombi la kubatilisha ushindi wake.
Sisi ni nchi ya kufuata sheria, pia tutaheshimu uamuzi wa mahakama ya upeo.
Huku gavana wa Siaya James Orengo akisema ana uhakika mrengo wa Azimio One Kenya utashinda.
Kama watu wa Azimio tuna hakika kwamba maamuzi ya kesho itakuwa ni maamuzi.
Mamia ya familia katika mji wa Marigat, kaunti ya Baringo yapata hasara baada ya mafuriko kuharibu makao yao.
Bedroom hakuna, imenyeshewa yote, hata ya watoto imenyeshewa.
Na familia moja kutoka kaunti ya Lamu yasherehekea baada ya mwanao mpotevu kurejea nyumbani akiwa buheri wa afya.
Kwa yote zaidi hatumlaumu mtu, ni ambo hatuisi alikuwa uko wapi wala alishikwa na nyani, Allahu aalam.
The best always save their best.
Despite being visually impaired, he is a jack of all trades. Here's our quest to find answers on how to take care of children with special needs and those with disability. You do not need to see musical notes to understand music, but rather to have your soul feel the vibe.
Actually, for us to make a wheelchair, we have to take measurements of the user.
After doing my assessment, I get to know the parent, I get to know the heaviness she's carrying.
Disability comes at different stages of life.
How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga,
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Hi and welcome back to KILIMO Diaries. For those who missed the first part, my name is Violet Njoki and I'm in Motero Farm here in Karen. I'm joined by Francis. He's running the Motero Farm where they plant different kind of lettuce in aquaponics. Trust me, this is a very, very interesting method of growing this lettuce. He has a couple of different varieties and he's explained to us how you grow them from the seedlings to the point where you get them to the market. But even in farming, it has its challenges. What is the challenge of using aquaponics as your method of farming?
The first one is the heat. So you find you have a lot of withered or dead lettuce.
Yes.
That's the first one. The second one is the water. Because if you don't have the water circulating, the fish might even die.
Wait, oh yeah, also fish needs clean water as well.
So water is a very big challenge. Sometimes you have leaks in the greenhouse. As you can see, the trough is made of dam liner.
Oh yeah, inside the black thingy.
Yeah. So in any case, if someone was to punch a hole in the dam liner and you start losing water, then you don't notice. You just have water loss.
Yes.
Like you go to the fish tanks, there's no water. You don't know where the water is.
But you don't know what actually is.
You don't know where it's going. So you have to like monitor the leaks and stuff like that. So once you find a leak, you fix the leak. Yeah. So loss of water and the heat.
That is mostly what is affecting. So when it comes to like the planting and all. Most plants need fertilizers. Is it the same for this kind of farming?
Ours is 100% organic. Like the nitrates that are produced by the fish is what the crops will use as amino acids and proteins. You see?
Yes.
So we don't add any fertilizers in the system. Nothing at all.
Yes.
So we just have the fish poop. Whatever comes from the fish is what we use here in the greenhouse.
Yes.
And then what the biomass is what in return is going to is what you're going to have.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you talked about using the coco pit as a type of medium that you use in the net pot. But you also said if you do not have that, you can use the soil.
You can use the soil.
Yes. So when it comes to the soil, definitely the weeds are coming up. How do you go popping up the weeds moja moja?
You have to pluck it. Yeah, we pluck the weeds. So you just hold back. You just hold back the crop and then you just remove the weed. You see?
So you'll have to go like that all through until you're done.
All through, like all of them, like everywhere in the greenhouse. But it's advised that what you do is you try and cover the weeds at the seedling area before they actually get here. You know? Because now you have the competition between the weeds and the plants.
Yes.
You see? So you find if you have a lot of weeds, obviously the growth is diminished by you have a lot of competition.
Yes.
And the weeds always win. Yeah, so it's good to handle the weeds at the seedling area. Yeah.
Point to note, handle your weeds at the seedling area so that when it comes here, everything is easy, it just grows vizuri. Oh wow. So when it comes to like the weeds at the seedling area, do you have like people who help to pull out the nini ama niwe peke yako?
No.
This place is huge.
We have workers here. And in any case, if the work is too much, then we get casuals. They come and they help. They assist. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You talked about the market a lot, also determining the amount of lettuce that you'll have to grow. How is the market of this kind of lettuce?
The market is there. The market, you just need to know where to sell them, you know. What I'd say about lettuce, what I've noticed about lettuce is not something that you'll find probably at a market like Muthurwa, you know.
Yes.
And also if you find the lettuce there, it's not this kind of lettuce that you have here. So you need a market or you need a place where people actually know the variety or the type of salad that you're growing. But the market is there. And it's very big, yeah. It's a very big market. We sell a lot of salad. Yeah. We have orders every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Wow! Yeah. 3 times a week.
3 times a week. So we sell to zucchini. We sell to Quick Mart. You know, we're looking to get to like Beyond Fruits and stuff like that. Yeah. So we have a market for this.
Oh, okay. So people have to tap into it. There is market.
There's a market.
So when it comes even to growing them, with all the nutrients that it gets from the fish, it's not prompt to having them get affected by pests and diseases, but do they get affected?
Yeah, that's the thing. If you let them stay in here for too long, like if they go past probably 3 months, you start noticing probably some pests that are eating them. But how we grow them, because they don't stay here too long, it's very hard to find them being attacked at this stage, you know. But once they stay here too long, they become a bit weak. Then you probably find some flies, some white flies or something in here. So you have to either cut them off, throw them away.
Wow.
Yeah, if they're infected, you can't to anyone.
Yes.
So you have to like cut them and throw them away. You see? And also remember, we're doing organic, so we don't spray.
Yes.
You see? So now without the spraying, now if you have an infection in here, it's going to spread very fast.
Oh, because of the water, so it will take
exactly. It's going to spread very fast. So what we do, if you notice this, probably you're walking in the greenhouse and you notice a pest or something, you just remove, you handpick whatever you've seen, and then you just go throw it away. And then guys, you have to start monitoring. If it's progressive, then you have to remove the whole batch and throw it away.
Well, so you can have you removing like a whole trap.
Yeah, you can remove the whole batch. You can remove the whole batch if it goes bad.
So as much as it is the best way to go to, you may still also get losses.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't monitor whatever is happening in the greenhouse, there's a likelihood you're going to lose a lot of plants. Yeah.
So that means if you decide to go for aquaponics, monitoring is something that should be.
You have to monitor a lot.
Wow.
And then we're lucky, as you can see, there are birds inside the greenhouse. So they eat whatever they find here. If they find doo-doos here, they just eat them.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's one way of making sure we have nothing here.
Yeah, true. So when it comes to your fish, it's the fish that is bringing the nutrients to your plants. Do you also need to change the fish oftenly, because maybe sometimes they will get too big, or some may even die in the process in the tanks? Or what is the process of changing so that you ensure that even what I'm getting from the fish to the plants is also still as fresh?
So the fish, the fish will like them big, because the bigger it is, the more nutrients the more it's going to produce. You see? So small fish, no. So what happens is every once in a while we remove the water and we check the fish. You see, we had an instance here where the catfish died and nobody noticed.
Wow, okay.
So you find, and then the funny thing about the catfish, when they die, they don't come on top, they don't float, they stay down for probably a week or two. So now when they die, they stay down there, you know. So now when you notice when they're coming up, you'll see one, but probably you have 100 down there. And now you find there's going to be bacteria because of the dead fish. So now they're going to be infected. And you see, and the same water is actually running inside the system. So you find if from one fish tank, you can have the infection spreading to the other fish. You know, so with the fish, first of all, we let them big. Monitoring has to be done. We don't change them a lot, because the bigger they are, the better. But every once in a while we harvest, we sell the fish, and then we bring a new batch. Because you find these eggs they get, they don't feed a lot. So if they feed less, then you have less nutrients, and then so you have to do away with them and then get.
So basically, even in aquaponics, you're killing two birds with one stone. You have the fish and you have the lettuce.
And you have the lettuce.
Wow. You've said there's a ready market for this lettuce. Even Kenya, with the places that you've mentioned that you take the lettuce to. But is there also market for export?
The market is there, but it's limited to probably, I would say there's a lot of procedures for you to actually export something, you know. And so the market is there, the export, but the procedures and how to get into the market is, a bit tiresome. So we just prefer doing it the local one.
the local market. So when you were starting, you talked about the seeds. You, as a material farm, use your seeds. Are those seeds found locally, where if a farmer wants to start, they can actually find them in the market? Okay, so I've seen we have the aquaponics, but there's also something known as the hydroponics. How different is this from the hydroponics?
The hydroponics you use, like you have to make your own nutrients. With the aquaponics you have fish, you see? But with the hydro you use manufactured nutrients. So you add them into the water and then you just pump them into the system. So that's the difference.
That's the only difference.
The only difference.
This is, you have your own nutrients that you have to
make your own nutrients.
When you say make your own, you have to like put in, like, you see how you like take a plate, you have this,
you have to buy manufactured nutrients and then mix them with the water. You know, like what does whatever you're planting, what does it require?
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So if it requires a lot of nitrogen, you have to look for one that has a lot of nitrogen, and then you mix it with the water, and then you pump it into the system. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what difference will it make if I was to grow my lettuce on the kawaida soil instead of using aquaponics? What difference will it make?
So here it's faster, and then you have a very different sort of taste. You know, it's actually. It's like a premium lettuce. It's very sweet and it grows faster. You know, and then actually in here you see, as you can see, you have it takes less time and the taste is better. And also you find what I've noticed about aquaponics. At it gets to an age where with this one, actually if it was in the soil, it would have actually died by now.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know why in the soil they tend to die faster than in here.
Wow, okay, that is some sign that needs to be answered.
They die very fast. You know, here it takes long. I don't know if it's the continuous flow of water, because probably outside there you're not watering it. Probably, you know, you have people forget to water or stuff like that. But in here, because of the water, it's always there. It takes longer. You know, it doesn't die that fast.
Ah, so and does it grow to a certain age, or this is where it gets to?
No. It continue growing. You grow. It can even get to a place where you have flowers, but we don't.
Wait, what?
They can have flowers. They can have flowers. They continue growing. They have flowers, they have seeds, but you don't want that.
Yeah.
Now you can sell it to
Yeah, because you need to sell them. I've actually realized that this is the Christine, right? It actually looks, if you don't know what you're planting, you may say this is a weed because of the type of leaf it has. Wow. At least I know something about Christine. Hi, Christine. So when it comes to, you said the time, it also takes less time. How many times in a year can you like harvest?
Ours is continuous. What happens is, so we plant every week, and we harvest every week.
Hold up. What?
You plant every week, you harvest every week. So if you harvest like 1,000 of them, you have to plant 1,000 of them. Put them back in the system because it's continuous.
Yes.
You know? So if you harvest 1,000, you plant 1,000. If you harvest 200, you plant 200. So what goes out is what you have to bring back in. So you have that continuous rotation. So after so you find if from the 2 weeks there up to the 4 weeks in here, the 6 weeks, that rotation. So by the 6th week, you'll also have another one that is behind with the 5th one, another one 4th, even 3rd.
Immediately.
So what you put out is what you put back in.
Okay, so when it comes, I remember you said that if you don't have the cocoa peat, you can opt for the soil. Is that type of soil that you have to go to, or any soil is okay?
Just soil with manure. As in, for us we use the red soil because it's the soil that is here. I don't know if you were to use the clay soil. I think it would hold more water.
Oh yeah, because
that
of
might
the
not be
heaviness.
good. Because it's quite heavy.
Yes.
You can opt to use manure alone. You can also use manure alone, or you can use the red soil and a bit of manure. That's what we use here.
Yeah, and considering that you're organic, manure, you go for the dung, or what kind of manure do you
Compost
use?
manure.
Compost manure. It's organic compost manure. Wow. Okay, so Francis, thank you so much for letting us understand how aquaponics work. And maybe we can get now to see sometime later how hydroponics actually work.
Exactly.
And guys, I'm telling you the lettuce that they have here. You can't say that this is a rotation of every week there's a new rotation that going in. 6 weeks later, a new batch, harvesting and growing. Okay, I might consider that this may be my full-time job after this. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you've noted down all about aquaponics, and maybe you can try it. You never know. It may be your market as well. Until next week, we're